Welcome to What's Up Poland, everything to do with the country and the Republic of Poland. Well, as you know, if you've been watching this program, you'll know that I've been looking forward to the day when coronavirus restrictions in Poland, the country where I live, will finally be lifted. And here is a little lift at the news that they may well very soon change. What we know for now is that at the start of February, the Polish government has announced some changes to the restrictions in place. I'll tell you about a couple of them in just a moment. And the Polish Health Minister, Adam Niedzielski, has hinted that as of March, many more restrictions could be lifted. And it may well be that 2022 is finally the year when we can start living a normal life again. So during a press conference recently, I'll just read out some changes. It was announced that as of the 15th of February, the isolation period will last 7 days. As well as from the 21st of February, there will be no more online lessons for Polish students of all different classes. Hallelujah. That's a welcome relief for mums and dads and for kids as well. And the slightly absurd quarantine after contact with people with coronavirus has also been lifted. So I've been talking to parents as well who've had to put their kids in quarantine after a kid in the class may have got confirmed COVID, even though they've run tests on their kids and they know their kids haven't got COVID. So you've got this absurd situation, which has been seen in many different countries, where networks of people have all had to basically grind to a halt because one person who they happen to be in a large room with has coronavirus, despite the fact all the tests are showing them that these people don't. But they have to go into isolation. We know why these measures are put in place, and we understand that the government is always a little bit behind anyway, but it's welcome news that the Polish government is making these changes because the data shows, as Minister Niedzielski presented in his conference, that this fifth wave of coronavirus and the variations and variants in it is significantly less threatening. Not only are the numbers increasingly having gone up very fast in January, now going down very fast in February, but the number of hospital patients and the length and duration and severity of their stay has significantly shortened, which means there's capacity within the Polish health system to open up the lid on all of the things that are keeping us in our homes and keeping us away from contacting with other people. If you've been watching What's Up Poland, you'll know that I've been following the story closely because it's my belief that the restrictions that we've been placed under, which in many countries have been the most severe restrictions on personal liberty that have ever been put in place, or at least maybe until wartime conditions, have gone as far as they can, and that we now need to learn to live with COVID. That's my personal opinion. And I think many of us are feeling the pain after a couple of years of not seeing people, having contact limited, without ever really being able to put a specific finger on what's unhurting us. You know, if you look at the research, you'll see that as human beings, we have a physical need for contact with other people. We need to look at people and we need to be seen by other people. We're an inherently social animal. You know, if you put 10 people in total isolation, solitary confinement in prison, the chances that the vast majority of them will go mad, you know, lose their mind within a relatively short period of, say, a year, 2 years, very high, because we have to have contact with people. We're designed to do so. Now, obviously, we're not living in police states and we have the ability to meet people. So many of the restrictions that have gone through have been lifted, but the simple fact that our faces are covered from each other in many interactions, I think is something that you can't put a finger on how much it's actually costing. And I do feel sorry for children who've been put in that position as well, although fortunately haven't been required to in schools. So with all this in mind, I was very pleased to note that Minister Niedzielski hinted, at least, that what we could see in March in Poland is a similar unveiling, as it were, of many other further restrictions, including masks, but not limited to that, because of the declining number of people and the declining number of cases and the declining number of people getting sick. He's hinted, obviously, that we could be looking at, for example, voluntary use of masks if someone was to be sick. And that's something that many people have suggested may well be a feature in countries where people, if they're sick, may start to wear masks to prevent any airborne droplets from getting out, for example, on a bus. But that you would be free not to wear a mask, and that would be your personal choice. I have to say that my views towards libertarianism and your ability to look after yourself and be responsible for your own health have changed over the course of the last 2 years. And I certainly would be taking my mask off because I want to look at people and be seen by people as well and read their emotions. And we don't only communicate by what we say, but how we say it. So are you excited about what looks to be like the end of this wave I know it's been a personal cost for many people, and some people I know personally as well. But of course, it's not just about not dying, it's also about living. Are you excited about that fact? Are you looking forward to these changes? How have the coronavirus restrictions been limiting you? Do you agree with what I've said today? I'd love to know. I always read your comments as well. So I'll see you again for another episode of What's Up Poland.